Somehow, some way, you've probably interacted with your county government today. Driving to work, playing in the park, or planning repairs on your house. Something has connected you to your local government. And if you're like me, you've got no idea how it all works, do you? Well, Arlington, it's time to get to know your county, starting with our county manager.
Hi, my name is Loida, and today I'm going to meet the person who runs Arlington County. Hello.
Hi, can I help you?
Yes, hi. I have an appointment to see the mayor.
A mayor? We don't have a mayor, but we do have a county manager, and his office is that way.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, I have an appointment with the mayor.
I'm the county manager. May I help you?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Ron Carlee.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What can I do for you?
We want to learn a little bit about the county manager.
Uh-huh.
And we'd like to know what you do on a daily basis.
Well, my job as county manager is really to serve as the county's CEO, Chief Executive Officer. We don't have a mayor in Arlington. We operate with a different model. It's not the political model where you elect the person that runs government day to day, but I'm actually appointed by the county board.
January 26th.
I'm not elected directly, but I am chosen by the elected representatives of the voters.
We do rely a lot on the recommendations that the manager provides. Usually they're thoughtful, they're very well researched, very professional, and they help us make better decisions. This is no different than
How is your relationship with the board? How does that work?
Well, in the political form of government that we talked about, where you have a mayor and a city council, oftentimes they're in conflict. It's sort of a check and balance. And of course, most of the city council members really want to be mayor, and the mayor pretty much wants to be left alone so that he can run the city. Well, in our form of government, I work for the county board. And so my job is to carry out the policies that they set collectively. So we don't have this kind of conflict. They are my bosses, and my responsibility is to get the job done based on the way they set the policies. The staff can work directly with the neighborhood on providing.
We don't always agree with the things the manager proposes. Sometimes we actually reverse things that the manager has said. So we've had, sometimes we have 5-0 votes, we have 4-1 votes. Very recently we had a 3-2 vote on a very difficult subject, and so it can vary depending on what the subject is. And if we don't like something, or for some reason didn't think it was appropriate to vote for it, we will reject it and say to the manager, no, it needs to go back to the drawing board, maybe bring it back to us. We might what we call defer something, put it off for some other time to get more work done.
And that's the thing we got to watch carefully.
Does this mean that your appointment by the board is indefinite?
Well, actually it does. In Virginia, it's sort of interesting. A lot of city or county managers actually have fixed terms. And so you could get to the end of your 4-year contract and it just not be renewed. And that's actually fairly common. In Virginia, with our particular form of government, you can't do that. The board actually can't have a contract with me. They have an agreement that lays out the terms and conditions of my compensation, but I am manager for as long as they want me as manager. But literally today, they could get together, have a meeting, and 3 board members could decide they wanted somebody else as chief executive. It is what's called an at-will position, and that's the way it should be.
What does a typical day look like in the life of a county manager?
In a community as complex as Arlington, there's almost not a typical day, or I could be sort of glib on it and say, I go to meetings and sign stuff, answer email. But what it really comes down to is trying to deal with essentially 3 different areas. One is working with the county board. Secondly, and this is part of my core job, this is what people in my position get hired to do, and that's really making sure the county government is running well on a day-to-day basis. As manager, I have an oversight responsibility to make sure that those core services that people depend on are getting provided. They're getting provided effectively and they're getting provided efficiently. A third area that people don't think about a whole lot is really working with other local governments and with the state government, trying to find ways that we can provide government in a coordinated way, recognizing that people who live and work here cross our boundaries every day.
Thank you so much. I think we have learned a lot.
Well, it's great meeting you. Thank you for coming in. And if there's anything else you need, don't hesitate to let me know, okay?
We appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thanks, Loida, and thanks too to Ron Carlee for taking us behind the scenes. If you want to know your county government better, email your questions here and we'll try to get them answered for you.